The reaction I see most commonly when people are walking through a space filled with my art is probably confusion. When I was a kid, I didn't have TV, so I grew up on an enormous collection of VHS, lots of 50s sci-fi and film noir, and when I wasn't watching movies, I was reading comic books. I really thought I was going to be a comic artist when I was a kid, and I tried to master that style. When I transitioned from just kind of like basic scribbles to more serious drawings, I remember I kind of freaked out my mom. I made a drawing of a gargoyle standing over a fountain, and there was blood pouring out of his mouth, filling the fountain. And it was like the first time I made something where I was like, damn, this is sweet. And I remember that it really freaked my mom out. When I was growing up, I wanted to either be an artist or an actor. I tried acting and I sucked at it, so I turned my focus to art. I think I kind of let myself get spoiled by the idea that you couldn't really be financially successful if art was your full-time focus. So I kind of shifted gears and developed my professional resume instead of focusing on art. I was always making art in the privacy of my home, just as like the thing I did for fun. And it just took me a really long time to develop the confidence that A, people would like it, and B, that it would be financially beneficial. People do like it, I don't know, it hasn't been super financially helpful. Coming up with the concept for my first solo show gave me the confidence to try it for the first time. My first show was called Adventures in the Sinking City. I had this idea of wanting to talk about people and places and things in a kind of dystopian urban environment. I live in the city, and I guess this kind of trained these interesting habits in me where I'm always looking out for interesting things going on or interesting people floating around. This drawing of Tang's retail hut is a good example of on-the-fly world building. I knew I wanted to do some sort of a drawing about a retail interaction, and I actually grabbed a photo of this guy at a crosswalk who was standing there looking really pissed off, and I thought he had a really special look. So I had my dude, I had my composition, and I knew I needed a bunch of little details to flesh out that kind of overwhelming, in-your-face retail interaction that we're all so accustomed to. That's an instance where I kind of reviewed my sketchbook or my database of doodles and found a bunch of little elements to bring in, like Face Boom was just kind of a little, I don't know, I guess I pictured kind of like an energy drink, maybe like a Red Bull. I love to repurpose things into frames. That's a lot of fun for me, and a lot of the frame jobs that I'm most proud of are things that were not intended to be frames that I retrofitted into picture frames. I think my background in the salvage industry has really influenced me to try to make sure that I'm incorporating salvaged or secondhand materials into my work. I think a lot of people really enjoy that I focus on subjects that are not of the norm or the kind of people you typically see depicted in a portrait. I think that really resonates with people.